Good morning, world. Stephen Walker here with Walker in the Woods. And it's a beautiful morning here in South Korea. I'm on the East Coast, so that means I get to watch the sun rise. Yesterday, I saw the sun set. I'm just north of Sokcho on a beach here. I slept at a campsite right over this way. I tried to sleep anyways. There were a lot of that's the one bad thing. I mean, campsites in Korea are pretty congested. They can be anyways. Cars coming in and out at all times, and although they say no fireworks, for some god known reason, the Roman candles keep going off all night long. But that being said, I did catch some sleep, although my eyes are quite puffy. That's what happens when you hit 53 years old. But yeah, today I'm gonna finish watching this beautiful sunset, get some sun gazing in. I'm gonna fix some breakfast, tear down my camp, and get on the road. I'm gonna head north, as far north as possible, up to a unification tower, and I'm gonna peer into North Korea, make sure that they're behaving themselves. And then I'm gonna do a U-turn because I don't wanna stay there very long. And I'm gonna be coming back down south about a third of the way down the peninsula to a place called Gangneung, not Gangnam, not the Oppa Gangnam style, but Gangneung. There's a beach there called Yangyang that supposedly has some decent waves and some surfing culture, so I want to check that out. I've never seen it yet. But yeah, people are up and about already. Yeah, I think it's coffee time. Coffee time, breakfast time. And then it'll be time to get on the road again. On the road again. This is day 3 of my road trip. And so far, so good. I've forgotten how beautiful Korea really is. A lot of mountains. A lot of tunnels to go under, especially in this northeast area. And quite a few nice beaches. This sand is very, very soft. Feels good on the old tootsies. But it's time for coffee and some breakfast, so let's do it. Here is my camp. So I was able to camp on the very edge, and it goes all the way down that way. 30,000 won, which is about $25. I was kind of wanting to do it all on the cheap, but sometimes you just gotta pay the piper. Cheers. Bulletproof coffee. Butter, cream, black coffee. Some good fats. Speaking of good fats, this is samgyeopsal, Korean bacon, pork belly, much yummier and healthier than the regular bacon with all of that sugar on it. I just put a little bit of salt. Go ahead and add the butter and the eggs to that bacon fat. This is the fat, is where it's at. The fat's where it's at, baby. Don't let them tell you different. Let's eat. One, two, three. This is a 3-ingredient breakfast. Eggs, samgyeopsal, pork belly, and salt. And then the coffee is a 3-ingredient. Well, actually, it's 4-ingredient. Coffee bean, water, butter, and cream. If you can't count your ingredients, don't eat it. And if you don't know what the ingredients are, if you can't pronounce them, don't eat it. Eat this instead. Compliments to the chef. Sehr gut. Nomu mashita. Well, left not much of a trace other than a bit of ice. I'm sure the bugs will enjoy the ice. Gonna ditch some of this trash here since I did pay for this campsite, and then I am on the road. We're gonna go north. It's almost 7 a.m. so we'll probably be there early. I don't think the observation tower opens until maybe 9. Maybe we'll get lucky. But yeah, it's a coastal road all the way up to the north part. Shouldn't take too long to get there from what I remember. I've been there once, so We'll take it at a nice leisurely pace, and if we see a nice beach along the way, we may stop. These little roads are everywhere. I truly wonder how many people fall off these roads. They're basically built for farmers and their little tractors. Everything here in Korea is on a much smaller scale. The little combines for rice, the tractors, the vehicles, the three-wheel kind of vehicles that the old men drive around. They kind of look like a big rototiller, but they're street worthy. But yeah, these roads are all over, like little veins. The main roads are the arteries, and these little veins just pop out all over the place. It's pretty amazing and dangerous. Chan-chan-hee, nice and slow. Chundol Wehum. Dol is rock, Wehum is danger, Chung. You see these big blocks? This is a road. Can you guess what this is? Basically, if North Korea ever invades, then these things will explode. They'll put some kind of dynamite underneath these big rocks, and that little section right there will collapse, and these big stones will all fall into the street. And basically, it's to stop the tanks rolling down these roads. And you see these periodically along the roads. Tsunami. But these big blocks are basically cement, as far as I know. And they'll all just basically fall into the road. Pretty interesting, huh? A little bit scary, I guess. But when I first came to Korea over 20 years ago, I remember driving up in this area, and I was curious what those things were, and that's what I was told. So, Chundol Wehum. Chundol. I'll have to Google what chung means. Probably either falling maybe. Let's check it out. Crash rock. Yeah. So we're you can see up there, we're about 22 kilometers away from the Unification Observatory. It's about 7:30, so we're still very early. That's why I'm taking these little country roads. But this was what I was kind of looking for, was these Chundol Wehum sections. And yeah, we'll find more, I'm sure, along the way. DMZ, baby. DMZ Goseong Bakmulgwan. It's a museum. You might check that museum out, see what it's all about. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm pretty sure that you can get into this thing. Back in the day, I was able to get into it. I just need to change clothes, as far as I know. I hope I don't drive all the way up here and not be able to get to it. It's similar to the one that was over in Yangyang, where we were yesterday. We'll find out, I guess. Checkpoint, I don't know. It is some serious shit though, DMZ. You're not screwing around. North Korea is a one of the last rogue countries that do not follow the central bank. Syria, I think, was one. Iran, I think, is the other. And yeah, North Korea, they don't play by the rules that everybody else does. Here are some more of the rocks going into this tunnel. On both sides, you can see the rocks. And I would imagine that there's going to be more rocks on the other side of this tunnel. They just close this tunnel down as we get closer to North Korea. Let's find out. A lot of the, like the tunnels and Panmunjom where they signed the treaty. Oh, there are no rocks on this side, unless they're up above. No. But a lot of, like, there are 3 tunnels that supposedly North Korea were digging underneath the DMZ, the 38th parallel, basically. And then Panmunjom, where they signed the armistice. Those you have to go in through a guided tour. But I believe that the observation towers are, like the one that we went to yesterday, is free, and you can just go in and check it out. Look through the binoculars. Not a lot. There's not a lot going on because the 38th parallel, the DMZ is actually like 3 kilometers or something like that wide. But certain parts of it are closer together. There's the museum, another beach. But yeah, we're getting closer, so hopefully we'll make it all the way up there. To be continued. Well, I don't think we're gonna get through, actually. As soon as I said to be continued, this is what we got. This is gonna be a guided tour, I guess. The one time that I was here last time, you were able to go all the way up and see it. I'm gonna go ask, but I'm sure I'll be turned around. All right, we did a U-turn, but I talked to the 2 soldiers there. A lot of these soldiers are university students. Because it's a lot of the young, well, all of the young men, unless you're rich, have to do a mandatory at least 2-year military stint. And so that checkpoint that we saw earlier, that's where I've got to go. The thing doesn't open up until 9 o'clock, so we're still early. I'm gonna go to the checkpoint and see if I can get a ticket to get through alone. I don't know. They may force me to get on a tour, and if that's, I might still do the tour because I've got all day. I've already hung out underneath the sun long enough. I've got a bit of color, but I'm a white boy from Kansas, so gotta watch. Now, one thing I can tell you, when you go carnivore, when you eat a lot of meat and don't put a lot of those seed oils into your body, that you don't burn. But when you start digesting or ingesting all of those seed oils, that's when your skin burns. Interesting fact. But yeah, so there's the observation tower. I told him it's like a long time ago I came here and all that stuff, all of these checkpoints weren't here. We just drove up and saw the thing, so. But anyways, the plan is I'm gonna go back to the checkpoint Charlie. Hopefully get onto a tour. Or if I can come alone, it's even better, but I have a feeling that I can't drive my car through that checkpoint. They kind of got it locked down pretty good. I haven't really heard if they're relate, because South Korea has a new president as of about 2 months ago. 3 months ago already, I don't know. 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And so here are the rocks, the falling stones again. They're bigger. But, so I really don't know what the north and south relation is at the moment. But I guess we'll find out later today. Right now, I have my mind set on getting there, so I didn't come this far to be turned away. Laters. Alright, here's the DMZ checkpoint again. So we'll drive up in here, see what the story is. Probably gonna have to wait an hour because we're an hour early. Over this way. I may have to go hang out at the beach for an hour, because there are no cars, nothing. Look at that lovely beach. All cut off by barbed wire. And there's guard towers around, one right here, so I'm not going to stick around too long, but I'm not going to be able to get much further north. All these small roads lead back to the main big one. So I'm gonna go back south, hang out at the beach for a little while, maybe find a coffee shop, recharge my computer, and then come back and hopefully get a ticket. And I presume it'll probably be a bus that'll take us up there. We'll figure it out. To be continued. I think we're going to take a quick dip. Now we have some time. Everything is closed down until 9 o'clock, so might as well get wet. Well, that was exciting. Not much of a trail over here. Unless there's a trail that goes around it, but you can't get up into the nature. I don't know why. They should have a trail. People have obviously walked around the thing, but that's not a whole heck of a lot of fun. You know, put a little cafe up in there. Let people get up into nature. But again, as you can probably tell, people are everywhere on this peninsula. 57 million, and it's about the same size as Indiana geographically. So they got to fence out the certain parts of nature, I guess. The bugs are up there enjoying it. Little trails around the perimeter. These are kind of pretty. Orchid or something, I have no idea what that is. If anybody, oh, hey, hang on. The fence just stopped. All right, I take back whatever I said. Here we go. And these pine needles feel good on the feet, so soft. Look at this. This would be a perfect place to camp. Look at this. Not sure what's going on here. I don't think I want to walk in there. Steal my soul or something. But here's a little trail up to the top peak. And I think that there's a bamboo forest up here. Very young bamboo. All of this is bamboo. Denamu. Trails in Korea go straight up. For some reason they don't believe in zigzag back and forth up. It's like they like the shortest point from A to Z. There we go. Look at this. Look at this tree. That's a big tree. And people put money in the prayer flags. This is obviously an important tree. Whew. Male, female, maybe. Fertility. Is it a fertility tree? If I was, I think you know what I'm thinking. If I was less than honest, 10, 20, 30, there's a 40. The green ones are Manwon and the blue ones are Chonwon. So that means the green ones I always used to say is like $10, the blue are $1. There's probably about 50 bucks right there. Pretty cool. That's well worth the walk over here. We'll go down through the bamboo forest. Bit larger bamboo over here. Go out onto the rocks. Or down the trail. This looks like it may be a machine gun nest. Enough for one person to have a machine gun pointing out. You don't have a lot of, you don't have a good range. You got a lot of big trees that you have to mow down to get to whoever's storming this little cove. But yeah, welcome to the DMZ. This is very close to North Korea. And on the other side, across that bay, is more barbed wire. So, we're gonna go back to the car, dry off, change into some decent clothes, some pants, a basic clean t-shirt, and hopefully get a ticket to get up to that observation tower, because I'd like to see it again. It may be a different place than the last time that I went. It's been so long ago I can't remember. This is kind of cool over here. Let's see. I need a rock. I need a rock and roll. This little rock right here will do. So over here, these are prayer stones, and people just basically place. That's a nice one there. I'm gonna put my rock over on this one. Kind of a feng shui thing going on. Say a little prayer. And then let it do its magic. So let's head back to the car and get up to the DMZ. All right, we're back on the road, and got the ticket. 8,000 won. That's about, I don't know, $6.50 for parking. I think I'll try and get to the museum as well, but the observatory took a little bit of finagling, some paperwork, sign away my life in case something happens. If shit goes down, they're not held responsible. I have to be on my best behavior, represent my country as an American patriot, but they're guests, so We're going back under this tunnel. As long as they don't explode the rocks, we're gonna get there today. It's about 9:08 a.m. So we'll see you at the border. We're back at where we were turned around the first time, so hopefully this goes through smoothly. Got my ticket, my paperwork, and we'll see you on the other side. Made it through. Got 4 hours here, so I don't think I'm going to be lasting 4 hours. But we're on the other side, and I will show you what I can show you. Autumn down, Bada, beautiful East Sea. Jigipnida, protect the East Sea. That's the East Sea over there. Off limits to tourists. I'm not going to go that direction. Keep going straight. So that is the museum over here. And then up ahead. I don't know if you can see that, but well, here's the observation tower. I think I'll hit the museum first, just to kind of get some history that I may or may not know. I know quite a bit, but always willing to learn more. Exhibition hall. Let's check it out. Iron ship of North Korea. Pretty small. Wooden ship of North Korea. 2016, east coast of Goseong. That's wood. Another iron ship. What's this one? Iron ship of North Korea 2018. There's nobody around here. So there's music playing, but I don't see one soul. We'll go up to the top and see what happens. Military stuff. Jenshiguan. Yeah, the doors are closed. All right, we made it into the DMZ. I'm not going to show you a lot here, but give you a little taste of it. Into the time of the day. Kim Il-sung Samyang. Kim Il-sung was the father. Korean truce. Armistice. As I said before, my dad was in the Korean War. I think it was 1951 to 52. Anti-tank mines. All underfoot. Oh my god. Joshimhae. Don't blow my fucking foot off, dude. Anti-tank mines. Oh, the world, the world. So this is an interesting room here. All of these are cards. More cards, more cards. Tashi gun gunun down. Dream again of the land. People have made trees. So here I can choose one. And write a message. Peace, love, happiness. And on the other side, as the Beatles used to sing, all you need is love. Stick this over here. There you go. All you need is love. Maybe one day. Unification of South Korea and North Korea would be very, very difficult. It's a whole different world now. 53, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 50, that's 70 years ago. 70 years. Probably 2 generations. People from back then are all dead. And North Korea hasn't advanced for shit. South Korea is one of the East Asian tigers economically, creating all kinds of stuff. I don't think it's possible anymore. North Korea would have to collapse. Kim Jong-un would have to be overthrown, and South Korea would have to ultimately absorb North Korea. Who knows, maybe one day. Let's go check out the observation tower. that was kind of interesting. I had the whole place to myself. Now you see these things up here? Those are loudspeakers. All of those are loudspeakers, and they basically use those. When I first came here way back in 2000, they were still blaring things north of Seoul. South Korea would blare shit to the north, and then north would blare shit to the south, saying, hey, we're better than you, or come over here, this is where the promised land is, or don't believe anything that your dear leader says, or whatever I don't know, whatever propaganda from both sides. But it was basically just noise pollution. And obviously none of it worked, because 25 years later, nothing's changed other than a few leaders. But the mantra, the dogma, the fear, all of that still exists. Well, look at that little dude. Almost stepped on you, buddy. One thing about South Korea, there's a lot of mountains and there's a lot of ups and downs, even in cities. Stairs. 안녕하세요. Ups and downs, you gotta be in shape. Even the old ajumas and ajushis, the old people. It's not for the weak. Alright, we made it to the top. So basically, over this way, that's South Korea. And over this way, that's North Korea. Okay, military demarcation is right. So basically that little islet sticking out, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of jutting out. Right north of that is where North Korea begins. That's the 38th parallel. So all of this, still South Korea. And that little islet with the tree hump, north of that, all of those mountains, all of those little islands out there, larger mountains. Way off in the distance, that's all North Korea. You know how they say it's not the destination but the journey? Not a lot to see here, honestly. No buildings, birds, but yeah, no buildings, no people, no cars, no nothing. Do I want to go visit North Korea? Not really. I've seen videos about it, but some things are best viewed from afar. So that being said, I'm going back to my car, and I will be driving south and hopefully finding some waves. If not, at least get a bit more sunshine before I head home tomorrow. So this is day 3, not yet complete, but we're done heading north. We can't go any further. Now we're gonna do a U-turn and head down south to Gangneung and Yangyang. Find some surf shops, nice beaches, place to camp, and chill. Let's go. Ah, one more thing. Look what I bought. Got something for the wife, or me, if she doesn't want it. Sangyeopsal That's ginger, and doraji is a root. That's something good for the throat. But look at this. I'm on my last sausage, my last 2 sausage sticks. So when in Korea, you do this. You buy ojinga, and ojinga is squid. So that's going to be my driving snack. What are you gonna do? I guess you're gonna eat squid. Bon appetit, let's go. Surfy Beach. This is the one that I researched, known about for a few years. I'm not expecting any surfy, but there is a surfer on a sign. Jungwangjong. Looks like quite a few people are here. I'm gonna catch a Yui and park. Here we go. Jungwangjong. Beachy. It's a big beach. But I don't see, there's a couple little surf spots, but I don't see any waves, so lucked out on this trip. Gonna definitely get wet, but let's check out the surf shops. Big old foamies. Sand's a bit hot. Got the sexy boy gym. Horse, of course. First name in the water, O'Neill. What's up, dudes? Surfy Beach. Surfy Beach. O'Neill. No lifeguard on duty. Swimmers on one side and the surfers on the other, and no waves anywhere. 파도 어디 있어요?
Thank you.
No, 파도 어디 없어요. 오늘 하루에 바로 없어요. Thank you. I told him there's no waves and he said thank you. You're welcome. That dude's catching something out there. Dude's fucking flying, man. Working on the balance. Well, I think I'm gonna go down that direction. Over there is the Sorak-san mountain range. Up there is Sokcho. I'm gonna at least get wet though before I head back. It's actually a beautiful beach. Clean, soft, windy, everything you want in the beach except the waves. It's a big bust, which is kind of a shame, but that's what happens in Korea. Japan gets better waves than Korea. But I've actually seen Japanese come over here, especially during a hurricane, or I guess they call it a typhoon over here. Hurricanes are in America. But yeah, I'm not gonna chill out over here very long. I might head up this way, see what is lying north to the future. Pretty cool little vibe in here. O'Neill Surf Shop. Nice spot. Food, beer. Whiskey. Kind of digging that place. May have to come back. Check you later, Surfy Beach. Check you later. Oh shit. Heading to Donghae. Heading south to Donghae. Dong means east, and Hae means the sea. It's the East Sea. This is a lovely little valley that I'm driving through. This is Highway 7, so this is kind of the East Coast coastal highway that runs from the north to the south. It's nicer to get off the big roads and drive these windier roads. You see a lot more a lot more traditional Korea. Welcome to Wonpyeong. This is Wonpyeong. And the nice thing about this, there's no money involved. I just had a feeling. This is right. This is kind of nice right here. I think this will be a spot. Wonpyeong. Nice view. So I'm going to set up camp right back there. There's a train track, so I'm not sure if there's a train that still comes or not. If there is, you'll hear about it. I kind of hope that there is. Maybe not. Anyways, Wonpyeong, it's free. So I have only had to pay one time. Wehum danger. Suyong Gumji Guyan. Don't swim here. I don't know why. Too many rocks. It's a very nice little beach. And all these little campsites right underneath the pine trees. Over here, little heart-shaped swing. Lifeguard not on duty. I guess this is a place to swim. Something I don't know how many Koreans can actually swim. It seems like they're all afraid of the water. Don't know. I've been swimming since I've been 4 years old. Anyways, I'm gonna get wet and then fix dinner. And the water is nice and clear. Look at that. Look how clear that is. Ooh, and it feels so good. Yeah, that water is absolutely perfect. It was a long day of driving. I'm not really exactly sure where this place is on the map. I just took Highway 7 south. And then a feeling took over me. It's like the sun is getting ready to set. Another hour, probably. And so I knew that I needed to get out of the city. The Donghae was a hole. Not good. It was very industrialized. And so if it's industrialized, a lot of plants, chemical, cement, then you don't really want to be swimming in that area. But here, it's a beautiful little cove. Beautiful little cove. Very fortunate to have found it. Sometimes you just have to use your intuition and go for it. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. More of the same. Coffee, steak. Only got 5 eggs, so I've got to ration them down. I think I'll have 3 tonight, 2 in the morning. A little bit more steak in the morning. Got to figure it out almost. Definitely didn't go hungry. Little different style eggs this time. Gotta go with the bullet coffee though. Cream and butter. Carnivore, very easy to cook. 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. And tasty as hell. Bon appetit. That's yummy. Little yolk. Gives the meat a different flavor than just scrambled. Gotta change it up every now and then. Still beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, generally. But the texture makes a difference. Cheers. Well, I'm all done eating and cleaning. And I've got the book I told you about earlier, the story of Chaplain Capon. And I think with the DMZ, the museum, Yangyang, the whole thing, I think this video is going to be long enough, so I'm going to end it here. Finish off the rest of the daylight reading more of this book. He's getting into the Korean War now, and so I'm going to say goodnight. I'll see you in the morning for day 4. And that dude almost hit my car. That would have been a to be continued. But alright, we're going to leave it there. So see you mañana. Peace out.